Welcome back. Bill in Laurel, Montana. Hey, Bill, what's on your mind today?
Well, not much, Tom. How are you guys?
Just fine, thank you.
Good. Well, I want to go back to the last hour, Tom. You were conversing with Peter, and he was making a comment about, people that are able-bodied to go out and go to work. Mm-hmm. And then you made a comment that Clinton, kind of set that up. If you wanted to, get paid welfare or whatever, you had to work.
Right.
Which, worked pretty good in the 90s because there was, a lot more jobs.
Right.
But I just want to remind Peter that, that fueled, or that's what made Walmart and McDonald's sustainable, because they had so many people coming through the doors that would work for less wages because they were forced by the government to do that. And so, therefore, these are the people. Now, Peter didn't go so far as to call them parasites, like somebody else did, earlier this week, or last week. But right. I mean, you got to figure that if you go to work, the employer don't have to hire you full time, and he's got plenty of people coming through that's forced to come through his door. He's not going to pay him very much money, thus creating more federal welfare, and so more money has to pour out to help these people.
You're right. You're right, Bill. What an epiphany! Basically, what Clintonomics did, what Clinton's ending welfare as we know it did, was to say that from now on, if you want to continue to get any kind of support that's going to keep you viable as a human being, that's going to keep you from being homeless and hungry, and get you medical care, you have to submit to the man. You got to work your 20 hours at McDonald's or your 21 hours at Walmart, regardless of how crappy the pay may be, because you've got to prove that you are working in order to qualify for these benefits. And then, of course, if you are under the poverty level, you get the benefits, and your employer is getting an indirect subsidy. That's absolutely right.
And Tom, not just that, but those people that were forced to go to work during the Clinton era and stuff,
right.
Didn't get paid money, and were climbing in the cars and driving the cars back and forth to those jobs without insurance on their cars, thus creating another dilemma of people being, uninsured automobile accidents. Our premiums go up. Everybody's premiums go up. That's how healthcare works too. You just every time you turn around, they're raising your insurance premium. Well, that's capitalism. They can do that.
Sure.
So when people talk about the Healthcare Affordable Act, and they say, "Well, it's driving my premiums," that wouldn't happen anyway, sir. I mean, people have got to settle down a little bit. Let this healthcare kick in. It's going to work, but it's going to take some time for it to work. But
right.
The idea of calling somebody a parasite that works at Walmart because he's forced to be there, otherwise you don't get any welfare, it just doesn't make any sense. That guy's got to realize there's a lot more ramifications to doing something like that. The big boxes in Walmart love it, because they got plenty of people standing in line to go to work for these are people that post billion-dollar profits that don't pay a living wage and say, well, it's not our fault. Like you said, what's it cost us? $900,000 a year
per store.
Walmart store.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, don't they realize what they're creating?
I'll bet they do, but I didn't until just now. Bill, you have educated me. Thank you. That is such a brilliant insight. Shana wants me to give you a book, so it'll either be Screwed, Cracking the Code, or Rebooting the American Dream. That's all right with you, Bill?
That is wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, hang on just a second. Louise is going to take your address, and we'll get it. I'll sign it this afternoon. We'll get it off to you. Thank you, Bill. That is absolutely brilliant. We'll be right back. 20 minutes past the hour. Minutes past the hour. Bill in Laurel, Montana just shared an insight with us that just totally blew my mind. It just hadn't occurred to me. When Bill Clinton changed the welfare to workfare requirements, basically said, you can only draw welfare for a short time, and after that, you've got to go to work. And once you go to work, if you're paid such a lousy wage, flipping burgers or working at, Walmart or whatever, if you're paid such a lousy wage, you can continue to get food stamps and you can continue to get some housing assistance, but you have to work. What he was doing was basically creating a system that forces people in the bottom 20th of our population, the bottom quintile of our population, that forces them to take low-wage jobs, which the Walmarts of the world and the McDonald's of the world, they love this. Because now they've got people who are, basically indentured servants. They can't hold out for a better job. They can't say, no, I won't work for that lousy wage, because if they don't work, they will not be eligible for food stamps or for housing assistance, because they get cut off from those things. And so, they're forced into the open arms of the low-wage employers. The question in my mind, now that I've been enlightened about this, is, was this an intended consequence or an unintended consequence of these laws? And I'll bet it was an intended consequence. Not to make Bill Clinton all Machiavellian, but there was a whole bunch of his folks in his administration, the Robert Rubins and Larry Summerses of the world, who loved this idea.